This is a foundation inspection. We're actually at the right hand front side elevation, and you've got a lot of erosion going on here. That erosion is due to roof runoff. The house doesn't have gutters on the right hand elevation, and that's going to cause a lot of erosion in this area. You can also see that a considerable amount of dirt has started to build up and is now in contact, in this area here, in contact with the brickwork. Now the problem with that is that can allow moisture to go through the walls, and that can introduce damp into the cavity wall, and that may lead to rotting of the studs within the wall themselves. We're at the front elevation. Again, we're missing gutters from the building. I'm now on the left-hand elevation of the property, and we have a post-tension cable end. It's showing here. That's got to be covered up. It's a process called parging. We use smear cement over the top of it to seal it and keep it from rusting out. Still on the left elevation of the property. Yeah, lots of post-tension cable ends showing. They've got to be covered up. Quite a lot of erosion here. You can see it's washed it away, and we can see the foundation normally below the grade is showing and needs to be filled in. We're now moving to the rear elevation. So there's erosion and pooling around the foundation itself. That really needs to be addressed. Gutters is the answer. Putting gutters on will improve the situation enormously. And I recommend that's an improvement you consider seriously when you move into the house. So we're now at the rear right elevation, and we can see obviously the erosion this side of the fence too. This is a roof inspection. What we're looking for are issues with the roof. We're currently on the ladder at the right front elevation, looking at the portico and the gable end. We're going to climb on the roof in a moment, and we can see we have step flashing, and no, we don't. We just have step flashing and no counter flashing. Okay, so at the front right elevation at the portico here, there's step flashing, but there's no counter flashing over it. So there is, but not necessarily will be, there is the possibility of a water leak in this area. I'm standing on the roof at the front left elevation. I'm going to carry out the rest of the inspection from the ground, because the this roof is a bit too steep to walk on, and as such I'm in danger of falling off. It's very, very slippery here. We've got a chimney here, looks in good condition. We've got a chimney cap, got a spark screen, and we've got a chimney cricket, so that's all in good order. This is a grading inspection. We're standing at the front elevation, and you can see here in this area here how it sweeps down towards the house. Really it should be sweeping away. So at times a considerable amount of flood water under heavy rain conditions will probably run through to the backyard here, and in fact you can see where it's been eroded by the flow of water. So the grade at the right front elevation is in poor condition. It slopes towards the house rather than away. On the front left, however, we've got a good grade. It's sloping away, and of course on the left elevation you can see in the video here how good the grade slopes. So that's all very good. Let's go and look at the rear elevation. Now you can see we've got a somewhat flat area here. We have a retaining wall. This is holding up the embankment for the road the other side. I recommend you find out who owns that retaining wall. Is it your responsibility, or is it the responsibility of somebody else? You need to check that out. The retaining wall itself shows a couple of cracks. It's not uncommon in these type of walls. But other than that, it appears on the day of the inspection at least to be stable, but I would recommend finding out who actually owns that retaining wall. Now moving to the rear elevation, here the grading is fine. We've got a swale here running out and it slopes away from the building, so that's all. This is the attic inspection. Now the rear elevation of the attic, the ducting in the attic has collapsed onto the attic floor itself. It's resting on the joist. Originally it was attached to the loops. You can see the black loops there. That needs to be rehung. It doesn't want to be sitting on the floor as it is at the moment. Okay, this is an attic fan, and you can see it's exhausting directly into the attic itself. It should actually go to the eaves. It shouldn't exhaust here. It's going to expel damp air into the attic, and that won't do the attic any good at all. This is a wall inspection. We're on the exterior. We'll do the interior in a moment. What we're looking for are evidence of foundation settlement, which appears in the form of cracks in the walls. This is a window inspection. You can see here that the caulking right in the corner here is failing, and that is true of all the caulking around the house. It needs to be replaced, otherwise it will allow water into the cavity. We're at the rear elevation here, and I called out the flashing, the missing counter flashing. This is counter flashing here. It's correct here. It's just on the front that it's not. Looking at the walls internally and the ceilings and the floors. Again, this is a final check to make sure that we've not got movement, settlement in the building.
Hello, my name is Craig Ackman with Drop Dead Pest Control. Performed a wood destroying insect inspection here today at 401 Elam Drive, Lewisvillie, Texas. The house looks all in all in good shape. There's no wood destroying insects that I can see without poking holes in the wall from what I can visibly observe. Looks like it's been maintained. Got a couple of things written in the report as far as the soil conditions in the very front corner of the house. The soil is a little bit high. It needs to be lowered just a little bit, and on the side of the air conditioner the soil has run off, and it needs to be built back up at the corners right there. The live activity has been a blue blowfly inside the house, one, which probably just flew in from outside with there only being one. There's been some deceased odorous house ants, which are not wood destroying insects whatsoever. So as far as subterranean termites, carpenter ants, Formosan ants, wood boring beetles, and the rest, the house seems to be in great shape. If there's anything I can help you with, please give me a call at 972-359-0803.
This is the fireplace. We have a fire log in place. There's the isolation valve. It's actually lit using a taper. Up here we have the damper, and we can open and close that damper with that lever here, and it closes. Okay, so that's working. Now on the outside we should have a combustion air vent. We don't, so everything's okay, but it doesn't have a combustion air vent. This is the main electrical panel. This is the breaker here, the AC, and it's a 50 amp breaker. We're going to cross check that that's the correct size. We go to the compressor here. This is a compressor. Somewhere on here there's a label. Here it is, down the bottom here, and that should tell us what the size, maximum size of the fuse is. Okay. So the maximum fuse size is 50, so it's correct. This is the ground that runs out of the electrical box, but there's no grounding bar. You can see here's the ground, the actual ground there, it's just hanging there. There's no grounding bar, so it's got to have a grounding bar installed to protect the building. This is GFCI. It's actually within 3 foot of a sink. You have water, and it actually is not a GFCI outlet. When I push this trip button, it doesn't trip. And there's a GFCI over here, which is correct, and that trips. That's what should happen with the other one. Normally one GFCI supports several other other outlets, but in this case this is not working, so GFCI has to be fitted here. This is the outlet on the external building. It's GFCI protected, which is correct. However, it's not got an in-use cover, and that should be fitted. This is a roof strut. We're actually in the attic, and this roof strut is loose. See, we can move it. That's got to be fitted in place. This is the compressor, the air conditioning system. There's a few dings on the fins around it. That needs to be combed out. It will improve the efficiency of the unit. The system is currently running, and these are the cold pipes. You can see here, this is the insulation, and it's dropped away. It needs to be replaced. That will improve the efficiency of the system. This is the water heater. It doesn't have a safety pan, and it should do. As a result, that if it does leak in the future, it could easily flood the house. This is a temperature pressure relief valve. We open this up, and that works perfectly. There's the vent hood. And the fittings look in good condition. Galvanic fittings, so it should reduce the wear and tear. Now this vent hood should actually be screwed down at least one leg or two legs into the... This vent hood should have metal screws retaining it in place. It could go on at least two of the legs, and that ensures that it won't move. This is the water pressure test. We've got just under 80 pounds per square inch. We look for a water pressure of between 40 and 80, so that's just about right. This is the plumbing inspection in the master. What we're looking for is good functional flow. And we do. We have very good functional flow at the tub and at the master. This is the faucet for the master tub, and you can see here we've got the head water coming out, and this is the hot faucet tap control. See? Turn it on and off. Well, that's on the right, and it should be on the left. This should be your hot, this should be your cold. This is the guest bathroom, and this light here is not functioning. This is the water isolation valve for the house. It's with the meter. There is normally one on the front yard as well for the homeowner, but there's not one on this building. This is the air conditioning on cooling. We've currently got a minimum temperature there of 47 from the register in the kitchen. This one is registering 45, 46, that's good. 47, 45 was the minimum, that's good. And we've got another register here, that's 45. Register here at the family room, and that's got a 45, so that's all looking good. Let's go into the master. And the master here we have 45. It's the lower reading that we should be looking at, not the top one. Okay, so that's 45. Let's go and look in the hallway for the return. Here's the return air, and we have a return air maximum of 63. About what, sorry? Oh right, stocks of shares, yeah. Yeah. Well, we went to, we're going this weekend, we went to compound stock earnings, and it's in Dallas, and that's where we go. We've done about 5 or 6 of their courses now, and it's good. It's really helped us a lot. Now, this is the jacuzzi tub. It's currently running, and the GFCI for it is in the closet. This dishwasher is currently running. The dishwasher doesn't have an anti-siphon device. Oh, does it? Yes, it does. There it is, up the top there. That's normally mounted on the counter, but of course this is a granite counter, and they probably didn't want to cut into the counter. It goes out of there. Where does it go next? And it goes into the food disposal, which is correct. So that's all good. There's a little bit of water staining down there, so there's probably been some water splashing around in the future, but no real signs of water penetration. This is the food disposal, running currently, no bad sound. This is the oven, it's currently running. We've got it set at 350. We've got a temperature, in there, average temperature of 350, 340, 350. Yeah, that's good. This is a cooktop, all the burners are running, you can see them glowing brightly. This is the microwave. Microwave works with the surface light, which is controlled here, doesn't. Turntable has a control on it, fan works. The irrigation system, we're on zone 1, and it's watering the flower beds on the front of the building. This is zone 2, all heads are running. Zone 3, front elevation, all heads are running. This is zone 4, left elevation, all heads are running. This is zone 5, and we have 2 broken heads, one here and one there. We can get a bit closer to it. Here is zone 5. As you see, it's spraying water straight up in the air. It's like a fountain. So zone 5 has 2 broken heads. Zone 6 is the back of the drive. And the backyard here. And zone 6 is functioning okay, no broken heads. This is zone 7, 2 rotors, 3 rotors, and they're all working. This is the infrared scan, we're looking for water leaks. If they occur anywhere, they occur around the toilet, the bath, and the cabinets. So we're going to quickly scan those vulnerable areas. Now here we've got a drawers in the way, so we can't actually get right behind the cabinetry here. I have to tell you, if there was a leak there, water would be coming out, we'd see it.